Yo, what's up, First Order family? Welcome back. Got a brand new video for you guys. It's the build to the prior video. Downside, I don't have clips. I've stopped using this. Not because I stopped using it because I'm working on something new. I saw some of the patch notes and shit from the upcoming patch, and I kind of got disappointed. But at the same time, I saw opportunity for some really nasty builds, so I mentally shifted gears. Build works. It's fun to use. Like, you apply a lot of pressure with a lot of dots, and it's fun to watch people panicking. Templars can present a problem because they could cleanse 5 negative effects like at one time, so you'll just have to reapply. But at the same time, do they want to keep cleansing all day? Absolutely not. You got I'm running dual wield sorting board. The gap closers, they don't work. So I got invasion on my bar because I do want a gap closer because I need to be close. But at the same time, the shit only works 30% of the time. So a lot of times it'll be a dead skill, and then when that happens, I'll just switch to there's a few things. I'll switch to Green Dragon Blood. I'll switch to Power Slam. I'll switch to or Elusive Mist or Mage Light if I'm getting hit from stealth a lot. Let me go to the actual bar shit. So Corrosive Armor, top 2. I'll say top 3 for the people for you guys, but I think it's top 2. But top 3 best ultimates in the game. This is insane. It's insane. Dragon Fire skill, you don't have to use this, but there are a lot of projectile spammers, so you could use this for defense as well as a little bit of offense because it sends damage back. Invasion, I already said that. Gap closer, that's all it is. We notice your defensive buff, your heal, and then your weapon damage buff. Front bar, we got Execute. I rarely use this. A lot of times I forget that I even have it because I don't use this. I never used it before, but I felt like I wanted to execute and I wasn't running a 2H, so I use this. Honestly, you could take this shit off and put something else. I don't know. You don't have to use this. You can put another dot up there. What is it? Soul Trap. This scales with your the higher of your damage, so your offensive stats. So you can use this and they'll do. You see 14k physical damage. That's unbuffed. I think the morph will give you a little bit more damage too. But regardless, you can use that if you want another dot. But I just use it for the execute. Blood Craze. It's not a great ability, but it does give you a little heal, and that is the main reason that I have it up here. Aside from the dot, obviously. Noxious Breath, you could spam this. This is a great ability. That's it. It's great. Venomous Claws. I think Venomous Claws is underrated, but you could spam this as well, and it does a lot of damage. If it's sitting there, it does a lot more damage, man. 20% more damage every 2 seconds. That helps. Choking Talons, you don't have to use this. If you're finding yourself dealing with multiple enemies at the same time, I would recommend this. But if not, you just go with the tried and true Fossilize. Even the other morph if you want, but I run Fossilize and then Dawnbreaker, the ultimate dot. Huge initial damage, huge damage over time, and the damage over time scales with your gear. So let's get into the gear. So Karth, this is a new set, and I don't think anyone has ever used it. I don't think anyone has ever crafted it because it's very like utilitarian. It's very roly. Like you gotta play a specific role, but you don't have to. Like, if you just playing a game to have fun, you could do what the fuck you want. And so I'm running Karth, and this buffs up with your ultimate and your weapon damage buff. So what is it? It was just 14, now it's 19. You do your ultimate, it'll be well over 2k every second. And this is when enemies affected by your alchemical poisons take 2k damage every 1 second, and that's for the duration of the poison. So take these for instance, the longest one is going to be 8 seconds. So every second for 8 seconds they'll take the 2k damage, which is pretty good. It's pretty good. And I'm running Assassin's Guile. If y'all been around for a while, I did a video on this when it first dropped about how it was underrated, and it is underrated, and it's a good set. Increases the duration of your alchemical poison by 4 seconds. So it takes the first dot from 2.3 seconds to 6.3 seconds. So that's 1500 damage every second for 6 seconds. So that's 9k damage. That's pretty good. On top of the 1k at the bottom for 8 seconds. So that's 8k, 9k, 8k, 17. That's not bad. That's not bad. And then you got to factor in the fact that Karth fires off too once they take damage from that. So there's going to be over 2k damage a second. So you have a lot of damage coming from just those 3 things right there. So from this and Karth is significant amount of damage from dots. Not to mention your fucking your dots, your blood craze, your what is it, noxious breath and venomous claws and all this shit. Like, there's a whole bunch of things to be had. Balrogs, you don't have to run Balrogs. I do because you get a lot of burst damage, and burst damage is good, right? Now, when you do your ultimate, your Dawn's Wrath, what the fuck is when you do your Dawnbreaker, the dot that follows, it gets buffed because it came after the initial ultimate. So when you use your 500, if you save it up to the 500, if you do the 500, you'll get a buff to your damage. So me personally, what I like to do is get every buff that I could possibly get, right? So being that I'm a vampire, I get the buff from leaving this. Right. So right now it's at 57, so it's gonna be over 6k once I do my ultimate. That's good. That's a lot of damage. That's high enough weapon damage to where your dots will put a significant amount of pressure on people. Now, you're not always gonna be in a situation where you could run for 3 seconds to get that buff. So you may want to go with Mistform, because you get the buff from leaving Mistform as well. Alright, my bad. Pardon that little break. Somebody was at my door. What the fuck was I talking about? Oh yeah, Mistform, right? Anything where you coming out of some type of stealth or anything gives you that 600. Is it 600? I think it's 600. Oh, it's 300 for 6 seconds. Regardless, you're getting a buff to your damage. Also this is good too. But yeah, so that's what I like to do. It's a lot of stuff that comes into play when you use builds like this, because you have to factor in a few things to actually get good with it. But it's fun to use, to be honest. Like, for me, it's good. It's fun. I enjoy the challenge of not using meta shit, and like I said, nobody ever heard of Karth, so I felt good about making it useful. And pairing it with Assassin's Guile, another set nobody runs, is even better. Now Balrogs, everybody use Balrogs, but you can't have everything. One thing I would say too is that, I think I mentioned this, you don't have to use Balrogs. You could use Zons, because Zons, it scales with the high of your weapon or spell damage. So right now it's at 1800, but that'll go up when you buff up. So There's ways around these quote unquote low. They seem low. They're dots, but the damage seems like it's low, but it's not. It's not. Like you saw the other clips, man. Like you put so many dots on people that they fucking melt trying to heal. You most times you won't be able to out heal it. You gotta cleanse them off. You're not gonna out heal it, especially with other pressure being applied. And like I said, it just fucking melts. Like it really melts. I ain't even gonna hold it. It melts. I'll be fighting people and I'm just like, damn. How the fuck did? Like, how did they just drop like that? Like, even in the last video I made, I was fighting a fucking werewolf, and I don't even know how he went from like his health went from like fucking 80% to like 30% in like 1 second. But that's because he had so many fucking dots. They must have all ticked at the same fucking time, and it just fucking melted him. And people don't expect that, right? So when you put dots on people, they're thinking like, okay, they got time to heal because it's damage over time. But when you got 8 dots on you, you don't have time to heal. Like you have to get defensive immediately. You know, so the shit, all the shit works, man. It plays together. It all plays together. You know, and if you, and I'm gonna be honest, like you got to be at least decent at the game to really play this and make the most of it, because it's not tanky and it's not. You don't have super heals. You got vigor and then you got blood craze. Those are your 2 heals. Being a Dragon Knight, you got the battle roar or whatever, so your ultimate as well. But that's it. That's it. Like that's fucking it. You got 2 heals. 1 really. That blood craze ain't shit. The blood craze ain't shit. So you really got 1 fucking heal, you know? So you really got to get in there and apply your dots and then try to get a little defensive. And then, you know, heavy attacks, light attacks, whatever you could do to apply a little more pressure. But for fuck's sake, you got to have an understanding of the game to really do something with this type of build. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you don't have to use the wings. You don't have to use invasion. You could put another heal up there, something else to make it a little more tanky. I don't know what. But his ways around that. But if you're going to use it the way I use it, you gotta be okay at least. There's a lot of bar swapping. You know, so do what you will with that, man. Yeah, that's it, man. Yeah, that's really it. I think I went through everything. Food. Right now, I'm running long fin pasty because I ran out of RTM takeaway broth, and I didn't have any in the bank, so I just put on food just to fucking show you like the max shit. Your Magica won't be that high because you won't get the Magica. It'll be around 15 point, I think it's like 15.3 or some shit, but you got 15k magic, so it is what it is. Yeah, stamina recovery would be higher because RTM give you stamina recovery. So you got 6k weapon damage without the vampire abilities, 20k penetration on both, 25k spell resistance, 21k physical resistance. Listen, man, this shit get crazy. Like, you do an ultimate, you getting all that penetration, so all your dots is actually just melting, right? Now, if you do fucking corrosive armor, your physical attacks, they ignore all resistance already. So if you do your corrosive armor and then you do your stamina dodge, right, which is all your shit, you're straight ignoring the resistance. You're ignoring it, and then you come out with this. Listen, man, this shit is fun to play, man. It's fun to play. Try it, don't try it. Hey, but I appreciate y'all motherfuckers watching, man. I am working on something new. I'm gonna drop a video on it before the next patch, because that's like 3 months away, I think. 2 or 3 months, whatever. So I'm definitely gonna drop a video beforehand, and I will update it once the changes come, because the build I'm working on, I think is a one-shot build. I think this shit is disgustingly one-shot. But like I said, I appreciate y'all watching, man. Famous power. And if y'all ain't sub, man, fucking sub. Stop being like that. Just hit the fucking sub button. 500 sub giveaway and 1K sub giveaway. Also at 1K face reveal. Not that a lot of y'all motherfuckers care, but the ones who've been around for years, I think is you're curious at the very least, right? So yeah, fucking sub, man. Famous power, man. Don't let nobody tell you different.